Right. Circling back to something you mentioned, that is gold being redeemable. That might be a situation in Belgium, but I'm not aware of any obligation here in the Netherlands of banks having to redeem your deposits in gold. So that might be some unique situation for the Belgium banking system. Um, Going further, so if we move to a free gold environment, how would it impact how banks or countries deal with each other, like paying off the international balance of trade? Could you describe how that would be different than today?
Uh, a very good question. There will be no gold exchange standard anymore because free floating gold, or free gold as we call it, is disciplining the governance. So why should one country that has a deficit with another fill this up with the exchange of gold? No. Those countries who don't have gold and can't rely on a gold reserve, a free floating one, they will remain poor, just like countries who don't have oil or commodities in their soil. So they have to get their wealth from another activity, unfortunately. So they will have to buy gold elsewhere with surpluses that they earn.
Okay. So you see then that there will be some movement of gold, but basically to get their economy growing and to start exporting goods. It's not that much as a settling of the balance of trade then.
No. Those who don't have oil, they have to earn dollars with export, and with these dollars they buy oil. Those who want to become rich and add to their reserves and want to buy gold from another state, they have to work for it and pay it in a reliable currency to the other state who has more than enough gold reserves, because they are doing fine.
Right. So going back to the current crisis, we hardly hear anyone actually talking about a solution. But sometimes we hear politicians mentioning, the IMF is one of them, about special drawing rights or SDRs as a solution. They describe the SDR as a basis for an international alternative monetary system. Would you agree to that the SDR is a solution, or do you think that free gold is a better alternative?
No, the SDR is a complete failure. It is not a solution at all, and it never was. It is simply a synthetic currency, and it's worthless. It is without any discipline, just like any other currency on its own, be it a basket or not a basket. So the SDR is completely worthless, and it just sits there doing nothing.
Right, the SDR ultimately is just another form of debt, isn't it?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so if we move to a free gold system, then the current debt problems are not going away. They are not going to disappear by themselves, aren't they? I mean, how is that going to play out, in your opinion?
Yeah. Unfortunately, all this astronomical debt is never going to go away. We only need some collateral to back it up. And to today we are just doing our utmost best to keep that astronomical debt liquid. Now, that liquidity is no problem because we can print any digit in any amounts we just like or need. I refer to Greenspan, who said it on CNBC explicitly. Now, the gold, free-floating gold, can one day and will surely, in my very opinion, modest opinion, it will serve as a collateral just to back up that astronomical debt. It will serve as a floor that goes up in tandem with the increase of debt, the debt orgy. And those who are without gold will be left out if they don't start working and can get their hands on a physical gold. They will be dropouts, just like Greece today.
Right, so they will literally drown in their debt.
Yes.
There is no floor for them to get hold on and to put the feet on the ground.
Right.
Okay, so in other words, you still see quite a disaster on the road ahead. That's something we have to deal with first.
I think so. We're going straight to disaster because the astronomical debt has lost all credibility. And in order to give all these debts some credibility again, there must come an external factor in it, and that is again and again gold. You can't become or remain credible without having physical gold in your possession. Impossible. Because your money, your currency, your unproductive political economy is a debt-driven. So without gold, you cannot keep up this system and just make gold a tier 1 reserve collateral, a store of wealth and a reserve. And everything is solved. So stop making a problem from gold. It is not a dollar competitor. It is just an extinguisher of debt. Make gold a solution, not a problem.
Right. And if that is the problem underlying our crisis, then most likely those who borrowed most will have to be impacted most. So would you say that this problem is more of a Western world and not so much for Asia or the upcoming economic powers, or even Africa is coming to mind, because some countries even have no money, or people don't have any money?
No, we are all in the same boat, East and West. Just think that the East, the surplus producing countries, have approximately $7 to $8 trillion in U.S. Treasury reserves. So what's stored in their central banks as a reserve is 100% dollar debt. So what they are doing now is trying to get as much physical gold as they can get. They can't buy it in the open market because it is not available. And if they should start buying it in the open market, the gold price would immediately explode to unbelievable levels. So what they are doing, China, Russia, and all the other small countries who do have gold in their soil, inside their territory, they start digging for gold. They don't sell it, they don't export it, they just store it in their central banks and try to get as much gold as possible from other countries. Africa, South America, Canada. But slowly but surely these countries start to realize that something is going on with this gold thing that remained under the radar for the past 20 or 30 years, and they're getting suspicious and they want to keep their gold. But they are so extremely poor, are economical, mean nothing economically, so they have to sell what they have, and they are selling most of the time very precious things to those countries who succeeded in produce surpluses.
Right, yeah, I see. And if we were about to see a timeline of all this debt problem being played out, someone or some did say that it would actually end straight at the end of the Bretton Woods system. But yet again, we are here 40 years later. What time horizon do you see a structural solution coming?
This is really a tough one. No, honestly, I would give a diplomatic answer. Sooner rather than later. But no, I can't pinpoint any timing on that.
Fair enough. But would you say we can keep going for another 40 years? No, definitely not. Okay.
No.
Very good.